Hello, this is Builder Elephant, and today we'll be taking a closer look at the LEGO Movie 2 minifigure series, set number 71023. This series came out back in 2019 and contained 20 minifigures. With the huge success of the first LEGO movie, a sequel was inevitable. Since the first movie had an entire series of collectible minifigures dedicated to it, the second part was bound to have one as well. The LEGO Movie 2 CMF series would mostly focus on the Apocalypseburg opening and the Sistar system scenes. The familiar characters we saw in the first film are back, but a lot grittier and cooler. The series took the time to highlight just how much some of these characters have changed. The Sistar system will find more of those fun and zany characters. Not as crazy as Cloud Cuckoo Land from the first film, but much more of the childhood innocence that has been lost in our adolescent-inspired Apocalypseburg. The CMF series usually come with a black 3x4 tile piece with 4 studs in the center. This piece acts as the minifigure stand. For this series, LEGO changed the color to white. I'm not sure why the decision was made, but I like the fresh look. It's a lot brighter and it helps the minifigures pop when on display. Awesome Emmet Remix had to be included in the CMF series, but LEGO had the challenge of making a unique collectible minifigure from a character whose major trait is not changing despite the chaos around him. The legs and torso piece are the same ones used for almost every set from this theme. I mean, really, the only difference LEGO made from the first movie was now his clothes are more worn. LEGO did give him 2 different facial expressions. They both have Emmet with a huge smile, but managed to make each smile unique. The hair piece would be the one new mold created for this figure. The piece would have Emmet wearing headphones. LEGO made sure to include his famous cowlick on the back left side of his hair. This figure is based on the Apocalypseburg opening. Emmet is listening to his favorite song, Everything is Awesome, as he strolls through the city happy as can be, despite the world literally falling apart around him. Now, to go with the headphones, Emmet was given a 1x2 printed tile piece to represent the digital music player with the Everything is Awesome song playing on it. He is also given a cup of coffee to match the coffee he is bringing to Lucy in the opening sequence. Battle Ready Lucy shows us that even though Wildstyle has changed her name back to Lucy, she's still tough as nails, or really hard plastic. Lucy is in a constant state of being ready for battle against the ongoing Sistar system attacks. Unfortunately, this minifigure only offers one unique piece. The legs, torso, headpiece, and accessories are all found in many of the other LEGO Movie 2 sets. Even her angry and happy dual-face printing is available in 8 sets. The one unique piece is the headscarf that wraps around her head. A nice detail is a little bump on the back to show us where her ponytail is. The red goggles and layers of fabric covering the head look amazing. Now, while this piece could be really useful for custom minifigure work, buying an entire minifigure for one piece is a big commitment. Even her binoculars and quiver accessory are uninspired. They fit the movie, but don't add to the character's collectibleness. Apocalypse Benny was another one of those characters that LEGO struggled to make collectible. I think Benny gave LEGO additional trouble because he was based on a classic spaceman minifigure. The character designs from that time were very basic. If you start adding too much detail, you take away the major character's trait. So, LEGO took away an arm and gave him a mechanical claw. It was this arm that made people want to get the minifigure. The problem is, this exact torso piece was found in the Metal Beard's Heavy Metal Motor Trike set. I do like that the claw and arm are separate pieces. This allows builders to switch out his hand attachments for different uses. The dual face printing on the head was unique to this set. One side has the familiar Happy Benny open mouth smile, but the other shows us the frown of a very angry Benny. Personally, the thing I like most about this figure was his toolbox. While a toolbox is nothing special, Benny had the classic LEGO Space logo printed on it. To get a LEGO toolbox piece with the classic Space logo is a great find for LEGO collectors. Giraffe Guy was the first big hit for me from this series. He is based on a character we briefly see in the small picket fence town located in the Sistar system. I'm a big fan of the animal costume minifigures, and Giraffe Guy is one of my all-time favorites. From the foot to horn, every part of this character was done right. The giraffe spots pattern is all the way around the front, sides, and back of the figure. The feet and hands are brown to represent the hooves. The giraffe headpiece includes the neck to create the giraffe's long neck, while the mouth, ears, and horn are shaped beautifully. I love that LEGO took the time to mold the mane of hair down the back, instead of just printing the color pattern on it. The hole in the neck fully exposes the minifigure's head's facial expressions, so we get to clearly see Giraffe Guy's crooked smile or large toothy grin. For his accessory, he was given a 3-leaf plant piece. Since a giraffe feeding station is common at most zoos, this made for the perfect accessory. Crayon Girl can be seen near Giraffe Guy during the Sistar Systems musical number. Yet again, LEGO added a great character to the CMF series. Crayon Girl not only gives us a new costume character, but every part of this character is a unique piece only found with this minifigure. The medium lavender legs with dark purple boots offer a nice color contrast and make it look like the bottom part of a crayon. The matching torso piece not only complements the legs, but blends perfectly into the crayon costume. The new crayon mold looks great. The cylinder body with sharpened crown tip is spot on. I love the flower pattern goes all the way around the top and bottom of the piece. Every detail of a real crown was taken into consideration. The dual face printing gives us 2 new facial expressions. The closed eyes, open mouth smile reminds me of a child squealing for joy. The slightly crooked smile makes me think of someone nervously excited. For her accessory, we get to see Crayon Girl's artistic abilities. The 2x2 tile piece with a minifigure head drawn in crown is perfect. I love that the lines are not perfectly straight, but rough like a crown would draw. Sherry, Scratch and Post, and Scarfield bring us back to Apocalypseburg. Unlike the first 3 minifigures, this one gives us something completely different. Every piece used to create the new Sherry, Scratch and Post is unique to this set. The pieces themselves can be used independently for a lot of custom minifigure work. The outfit created with the leg and torso piece has a Mad Max feel. The leather, pieced together with metal studs, looks tough and was able to incorporate some nice cat references. The large cat belt buckle is hard to miss, but the little things like the cat claw bracelet elevates his character to the next level. I was impressed how LEGO used the first CMF Sherry Scratch and Post to help with the design of her new face. The lips are almost the same, but instead of a frown, it's a vicious snarl. By repositioning the eyebrows, her eyes go from scared to fierce. Her cat whisker war paint and headband are a new detail for her new apocalyptic life. Her cat Scarfield was the accessory. The fact that Scarfield's name is in the title shows how important this accessory is. He was also the main draw to the set. A cat with band-aids on its cheeks, sharp pointed teeth, and a mohawk is not only completely original, but also probably something we will never see again. Hula Lula is the first of the pop star trio. She can be seen behind the Wizard of Oz characters as they dance through the streets with Emmet. She was my favorite of the pop stars because of her Hawaiian luau theme. This made her more useful outside the LEGO Movie 2 setting. The figure itself was very well done. The leg piece has green sandal straps and the bottom of her swimsuit. A new paper skirt piece with large points was created for her grass skirt. I like this look of the dress a lot more than the one used for the Hula Dancer minifigure released back in 2011. The torso piece has her wearing a nice flowery shirt with a pink lei. This sets the tropical mood perfectly. The dual face printing is only found on this minifigure. Those big red lips, smile, and freckled cheeks look great. The lime green hairpiece is wild and makes her a pop star instead of a regular hula dancer. While she was my favorite pop star minifigure, she had my least favorite accessories. She was given a magenta microphone like all the other singers from the series, and a record. I usually like the 2x2 record tiles, but this particular record piece was available in 2 other sets, making it lose any uniqueness. Watermelon Dude can be found dancing right next to Hula Lula. Once again, every piece used to create Watermelon Dude is a uniquely printed piece. The tri-colored legs were obviously new, but I was shocked that the green shirt had never been used before. I had thought it was the same one used for Banana Guy, but his shirt was a bright green. Both expressions on his dual printed face are the same, but one side has him wearing sunglasses. The watermelon costume mold was also new at the time, but would be reused a short time later for CMF Series 19's Pizza Costume Guy. The printing on Watermelon's Dude costume was amazing. The 3 layers of color used for the peel, rind, and pulp were nice. The seeds are what blew my mind. Each seed was shaded to look like they were sunken into the pulp of the watermelon. This was an amazing 3D illusion. For his accessory, he was given a 1x1 quarter tile piece with a watermelon printed on it. Unlike past watermelon pieces that had red pulp, this one was made to be dark pink. Flashback Lucy would be the first of only 3 minifigures not directly from Apocalypseburg or the Sistar system. At the end of the movie, we learn that Lucy was in the band that created the Everything is Awesome song. This minifigure puts her back in that gaudy costume from her pop star days. I think this is the only minifigure we needed of Lucy in this series. It gives us a completely new look that is not found in any of the regular building sets. The blue and magenta spandex suit is great. I'm pleased that LEGO put the silver bubbles on the front and back and sides of the minifigure. The dual-sided head is also a new piece only available with this minifigure. Both of the facial expressions fit this character perfectly. One showed the big smile of a carefree Lucy, and the other one had her belting out tunes of the song she loves. The blue and magenta hairpiece is a nice change from Lucy's typical black hair coloring she adopted during her days as Wild Style. Lucy was given the same magenta microphone we saw with the Hula Lula minifigure. She was also given a gold record tile piece. This 2x3 tile is a unique piece. The Everything is Awesome label is character specific, but the gold record makes it a great piece for mock work. Swamp Creature brings us back to Apocalypseburg. He has a brief cameo during the Sistar system attack. In it, we randomly see him being chased by a woman with a whip. His newly printed leg and torso pieces show how this aquatic creature must now live in a dry desert environment. He now wears a leather outfit with metal chains, belt, buckles, and pads. The reptilian headpiece is technically new, but the slight changes are barely noticeable. Oddly enough, my favorite piece in the set is not an original piece. The iconic swamp creature mask that is based on the creature from the Black Lagoon has been used in several sets. However, these sets are few and far between, so I like getting this piece. Even though it was Swamp Creature being chased by a whip, he was given it as an accessory. Perhaps he got his revenge. Or LEGO was desperate to find an accessory for him. We shall never know. Candy Wrapper was the next pop star minifigure in this series. Her bio on the LEGO website confirms she is taking part in the Sistar System's wedding celebration, but I could not find her in the movie. This minifigure was as bright and colorful as a candy shop. The leg piece has bright pink hips, white legs, dark pink boots, and orange stripes. The ballerina tutu would use the exact same colors and add silver stars. The torso piece continues the colorful stripe design. Altogether, the outfit reminds me of a lollipop. She comes with 2 facial expressions. The first is the standard smile of a pop star. The other has her winking at the audience. The big round pink dots on her cheeks are a great fit for this candy-themed rap star. Her pink hair with a star on the side not only matches her outfit, but introduces another uniquely colored piece that adds a lot of custom minifigure work possibilities. Her accessory is my favorite part of the set. The magenta microphone is common by now, but that translucent clear 1x2 tile made to look like cassette tape is great. The printing is a nice replication of the tapes I played as a kid, back in the day when making a mixtape was really cool. I'm aware this information has now made me uncool. Gone Golfin, President Business, brings us to our second character not in Apocalypseburg or the Sistar system. President Business makes a brief cameo in the beginning of the film and then takes off to play golf. He doesn't return till the action is ended in the closing of the film. I'm not sure if this brief cameo was due to Will Ferrell's busy schedule or the absent father character now being more into golf than LEGO. Either way, I'm glad he made it into the CMF series. Since he was absent for most of the film, he would not be in any of the other LEGO Movie 2 sets. The minifigure itself is great. The plaid golf outfit is amazingly detailed and exactly what I picture the stereotypical golfer wearing. There were so many little details that blew my mind. The plaid color pattern and belt look great, but they also took the time to show the fabric folding in as it was tucked into his boots. The shirt under his vest has a button and an uneven collar. The 2 smiling faces on this minifigure are unique to this set. The full smile is nice, but that crooked cotton-ally smile is spectacular. The hairpiece is the typical President business piece, but since we won't be seeing him in any of the newer sets, it's a good piece to get. His golf club accessory is a spot-on replication of a real driver used in golf. As of now, this is an original piece, but I am confident LEGO will use this accessory again for future golf-themed sets or figures. Apocalypseburg Abe brings us another minor character from the first film who gets another cameo in the second. I love this figure because of how we can use it outside the LEGO Movie 2 theme. It reminds me of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and fits into the popular LEGO steampunk community. Once again, LEGO used original printing to create this figure's clothes. The use of skulls is intimidating, but I particularly like how the large silver skull and crossbones on the torso piece look like it's made from car parts. The top hat and axes on the back are a nice reference to the historical Abraham Lincoln. The red sash around the waist gives the costume a pirate flair. The hat and beard are a single piece. The stovepipe hat with goggles wrapped around the top is why I think this figure is a great inclusion for people who love to make steampunk-style builds. The two original faces on the minifigure's head give us a wide emotional range. The lines drawn to create the creases don't work on their own, but look great when they're surrounded by the full beard. For his accessory, he was given his trusty axe. Of course, this is the Apocalypse, so it's a large war axe and not the one used to build a log cabin. Vest Friend Rex focuses on the cowboy part of Rex Dangervest's personality. Of the 8 LEGO Movie 2 sets with this character, this would be the only one to have him in his cowboy outfit. The leg piece has him wearing chaps over his blue pants and steel-toe boots. The torso piece is the same one seen in almost all the other sets, but since the set emphasizes the bad pun of changing best friends to vest friends, using the standard vest piece works. The headpiece gives us 2 new facial expressions. The tight-lipped smirk shows the tough, edgy character that learned to face danger head-on. The second, closed eyes and open-mouthed smile shows us the lack of thought this character puts into challenges facing him. The hat piece was my favorite part. The disheveled hair sticking out from under the hat looks like it's blowing in the wind. I love that this cowboy hat isn't smooth but folds and bends like a real hat. For his accessory, Rex has a blue baby velociraptor. Personally, I always love getting creature pieces with my CMF minifigures. They're extremely useful in mock and stop motion work and are less common than other accessories. Kitty Pop is the third and final pop star released in this series. She is in the crowd during the failed wedding scene near the end of the film. I can't help but think this musician was inspired by the old comic book band Josie and the Pussycats. Of course, our minifigure cheetah costume is bright coral instead of the more realistic colors. I'm impressed that the lavender spots are on the front, back, and sides of the minifigure. If possible, the light aqua blue hands and feet make this costume even brighter. Surprisingly, this would be the first time the rubbery cattail piece comes in white. The medium flipped hairpiece with ears sticking out has been used in several sets, most notably for Catwoman, but once again these bright colors make it a one-of-a-kind piece. Her 2 new face prints show us that Kitty Pop is always happy, whether she's smiling at her audience or closing her eyes to belt out a song. For her accessory, she had an electric guitar with dark pink tiger stripes. While guitar pieces are often used in the CMF series, I love getting the variety of designs for this piece. Guitars are an extension of the musician, so an assortment of choices is nice to have for any custom minifigure work you might want to do on your own. And of course she comes with the magenta pink microphone. Dorothy Gale and Toto are the first of the 4 Wizard of Oz characters we found in the series. We have had the Wicked Witch of the West and her flying monkeys in minifigure form, but the rest of the cast has always been missing. I'm so glad that these characters had a small cameo in the LEGO Movie 2, because now we get Dorothy and her friends as minifigures too. Dorothy Gale's blue and white gingham dress was made famous by Judy Garland's portrayal of her in the classic 1939 Wizard of Oz movie. With this costume firmly cemented in pop culture, LEGO had to get it right, and they succeeded. To create the ruby slippers, LEGO put a red line around the feet and added gold speckles. She is wearing blue socks, but the rest of the leg piece is white. This is because a paper dress will wrap around the legs and hide the white. The torso piece is beautifully designed. Straps, seams, buttons, and folds were all put in intricate detail on the front and back of the piece. Her two facial expressions give us those must-have emotions: the happy girl singing with her friends along the yellow brick road, and a scared little girl not in Kansas anymore. The hair mold was extremely well crafted. You can actually see the hair being braided together. Lego even took the time to color in the blue ribbons holding the pigtails together. Now, technically, Toto was Dorothy's accessory. However, this little dog is a character all on his own. The terrier creature piece is nothing new, but this would be the first time we get it in a dark bluish gray coloring. For added detail, Lego drew gray fur lines to help replicate Toto's shaggy hair. The Cowardly Lion minifigure was great for two reasons. The first is that it brings us another of the famous Oz characters. He also adds a lion to the ever-growing list of animal costume minifigures. The majority of the Cowardly Lion would be a medium nougat color. To help add some texture, Lego put reddish-brown fur lines on the front and back of the torso piece. I like that claws were put on the feet to show this is a lion and not a simple Halloween costume. The hair piece was a full lion's mane and ears. The hair flowing together to create the thick mane was beautifully molded into the piece. The head was a regular nougat color, so it could have some contrast from the rest of the costume. The Cowardly Lion was played by vaudeville actor Burr Lahr. The head printing did a great job capturing this expressive actor's face. The smiling side shows us the saggy skin on the upper mouth. The timid frown was a must for our Cowardly Lion. For his accessory, he was given a badge of courage. Now, since he couldn't wear this medal around his neck, Lego printed it onto the 1x2 translucent clear tile piece. The Scarecrow gives us the first friend Dorothy meets on the yellow brick road and a versatile minifigure. The Scarecrow is a staple of both farms and horror films, making him useful outside the Wizard of Oz theme. Lego did a great job creating the costume of Roy Bolger's Scarecrow. From the patches on his pants to the hay sticking out of his clothing, Lego paid attention to all those little details to make this figure stand out. The top of the torso piece has the bottom of the sack being used for his head, and the rope around his neck printed on it. I love the use of the lines on the face. They not only bring character, but help create the illusion of Bolger's long, narrow face on a short, round minifigure head. I love when Lego doesn't do perfectly straight lines and curves. It better represents real-life objects. We see that with Scarecrow's hat piece. The brim is folded in ripples, and the cloth around the base is tied in a knot and not evenly stretched around it. For his accessory, Scarecrow is given his Certificate of Achievement. This 2x2 printed tile piece isn't an exact match to the rolled-up scroll the wizard gives him, but it's perfect for our minifigure that lives in a square Lego brick world. The Tin Man was always my favorite character from The Wizard of Oz, so to finally get him in minifigure form was awesome. The amount of detail put into this figure's design was impressive. To see the seams of metal and individual bolts put into the front and back was beautiful. To get it on the sides was spectacular. I love that Lego took the time to put rust on the character. This is such an important trait for a character that was found rusted together in the forest, until some kind strangers oiled his joints. The bow tie might look familiar. It's the same one worn by Alfred Pennyworth, but in a flat silver color, making it unique. The headpiece captures the stiff smile of the Tin Man and includes the hinged jaw that is described in the book. The funnel hat piece once again shows us the care Lego took in designing all of the pieces for these minifigures. Rather than a simple funnel shape, Lego included the handle to better match the film. The Tin Man would come with two accessories. His axe is an original piece. While it is very similar to other axes released by Lego, the large head would separate it from past axe accessories. He was also given a heart-shaped tile piece with a clock printed on it. This would be his gift from the wizard. While there were a lot of fails for me in this CMF series, Unikitty was the worst. First, Unikitty is not a minifigure. For a character to be considered a minifigure, it needs to have two of the three minifigure pieces. They need any combination of legs, torso, or headpiece. Unikitty has zero. The legs, body, tail, horn, and ears are like almost every other set that includes a standard Unikitty character. The individual Lego pieces and colors can be found in hundreds of sets. The cat tail with a blue side tail pattern is somewhat rare, with only appearing in 7 other sets. so far. The one unique piece in this set is the 1x3 brick used for Unikitty's face printing. While this is a one-of-a-kind printing, it is very similar to the face brick used in the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Unikitty blister pack. I had to stare at these two pieces for a long time to find the differences, and the only thing I could find was in the eyes, where the blue iris on the left eye was moved to the opposite side, and the other tiny difference can be found on the mouth. Now the tongue is on our right side instead of centered, and the top has a nice smooth curve rather than dipping down in the middle. Perhaps because Unikitty lacks usable hands, there were no accessories included in this set. This series had a lot of hits and misses for me. While the Wizard of Oz characters probably rank in my all-time favorite minifigures, almost all of the Apocalypseburg characters rank among the worst. Giraffe Guy, Crown Girl, and Watermelon Dude were great costume characters from the Sistar system, but the rest of the minifigures are unmemorable. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.